Welcome back, my wonderful fellow freedom fighters and lovers of freedom across the world, especially my African people. It is high time we stand up for ourselves because let me tell you, freedom was never given and it can never be given. Even for Christ to die, for us to have salvation, Christ have to die. That is to tell you, nothing is free. As I welcome my old, my new, and those who are watching from a distance, on today's edition, we are going to talk about the sanction of Economic Community of West Africa against Mali because of the takeover from the military as a result of impunity of the France against the Malian people for years. My wonderful people, like I said, the freedom is never given. Freedom is taken. It is high time Africa stand up for what is rightful belongs to them. As I speak with you right now, the Malian people are protesting against the sanctioning of Mali. But not only that, do you know that the person in charge of Ivorian, the Ivory Coast president, is not from Ivorian? It was imposed on them by the same France you're talking about. Why should Africa live under subjugation by their colonial master after years? Because of the resources that God deposited in our soil and in our lands. They have used all means possible, dividing us and turning us against one another. But I am saying it is time we stand up. And I am encouraging the Malian people not to waver, not to shake. Yes, the sanction, they will get back on their own if they are hungry. The hungry man and the hungriness in them is going to make them to stand up and begin to work instead of sabotaging one another, because hunger doesn't know whether you're a big man or whether you're a poor man. And I will as well ask my Malian people to please take it easy on one another. Let them not be the demons they are fighting as well by making life more miserable by their people. Other African countries, let me tell you, every sector that have been set up to maintain humanity and maintain calmness have been hijacked by these same people, these same Islamists. They have been hijacked by them, the UN, the Ecowas, every one of them. But I'm here to tell the Malian people, do not waver. And as I'm urging the Malian people, I'm also urging the true Biafran freedom fighter to reach out to the Malian people because they need ally like us now among our people. The France people and the Europe are going to do everything to crush the Malian people, but I am urging you guys to stand your ground and to maintain this very thing because it is high time Africa is liberated from this curse. They say economic sanctions placed on Mali by the Economic Community of West Africa State, Ecowas, are causing inflation and food shortage in markets in the capital, Bamako, France, 24 James Addo report. It is high time, and I love what these people are doing. They are also standing on their ground by telling the Malian people, the France people, that no more French speaking in their country. No more French speaking. It is high time we go back to the root and start speaking our own language, because God gave us this language. God gave us this our mother tongue for a reason. And it is time we start speaking our own language. Sanctions were imposed on January 9th after the military junta that seized power almost 18 months earlier announced plan to extend its rule for 5 years, rejecting the February 2022 deadline for elections set by Ekpa, because they are going to lose the election. And the Malian people are now seeing it categorically clear that it is us now against the war. And they need to maintain that very heat. It can only last for a while. France will do everything to bribe other countries. And I know for sure that Fulani knows that this is a threat to them. It's going to give Biafra more ground. It's going to give Amazonia more ground. And that is why I am here telling you guys, please do not step down, do not. God is going to give you that victory. Liberation of Africa is coming through Mali if they can maintain the heat. And I'm urging other African countries, Biafra, Amazonia, and other nations to please back these people up. As China is backing them, even though I don't trust China, and Russia as well. Please, my people, we need to stand up for them. Persecution is for every one of us. Until we put our head together and say enough is enough, I'm going to allow you to watch some of all these things. But what I'm telling you that the repression of Africa is imminent with what is going on in Mali. I want you to watch.
Qu'ils soient noirs ou blancs, qu'ils soient arabes ou bambara ou sénoufo ou bobo ou pel ou sarakone ou tamashek, ils n'ont pas de problème entre eux. C'est la France qui nous a divisés depuis des années. Depuis des années. C'est elle qui nous a divisés.
The Economic Community of West African States, Ecowas, has announced that it will close borders with Mali and impose sweeping economic sanctions in response to the delayed elections after the 2020 military coup. The announcement came on Sunday after an extraordinary summit of the leaders of the 15-member ECOWAS bloc in the Ghanaian capital, Accra, to discuss a proposal from Mali's transitional authorities to hold elections in December 2025 instead of next month as originally agreed. The 15-member bloc said it had agreed to impose additional sanctions with immediate effect.
The sanctions have been designed to protect the Malian population. The sanction will be gradually lifted only after an acceptable and agreed chronogram is finalized and monitored satisfactorily.
Mali's ruling military junta said it strongly condemned illegal sanctions imposed on the country by ECOWAS. In a statement read on national television overnight Sunday to Monday, the military regime spokesman, Colonel Abdullahi Maiga, announced the recall of Bamako's ambassador to the West African nations involved and the closure of air and land borders with them. Last August, army officers led by Colonel Assimi Goïta toppled the elected president Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta amid street protests against his unpopular rule. Under the threat of sanctions, Goïta subsequently promised to restore civilian rule in February 2022 after holding presidential and legislative elections. But he staged a de facto second coup in May 2021, forcing out an interim civilian government. Observers are hopeful that the new sanctions will force the Malian government to have a change of plan regarding the controversial election.
There will be no more Air France flights between Paris and Bamako until further notice. The French airline has suspended its route to and from Mali. France also warned that further sanctions could be enforced and assured that the European Union would follow suit.
It's not only France that's involved in Mali and the countries of the Sahel in the fight against terrorism. There are 10 European countries which are showing solidarity and refuse to accept this. We're going to propose applying these sanctions at the European level.
Mali has already been dealing with diplomatic and economic sanctions imposed by the Regional Organization of West African States, ECOWAS. The sanctions come as interim President Assimi Goïta announced the postponement of elections and the return to civilian rule. In power since a coup in May 2020, the military leadership promised to organize elections for February 2022, but the army has since made a U-turn and could stay in power for up to 5 more years. The government is urging Malians to take to the streets on Friday as a sign of support.
Thank you for watching. If the video interests you, please share.